Good. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 23 of 40 of this capacity building training organized by Hammad Technologies and Consultancy Limited. So, inshallah, today we will continue from where you stopped yesterday on Microsoft Excel. I am Malasan Usman, your today's facilitator. So, next comes our outlines. So our outlines for day 23 are as follows. Number one, as usual, we'll give a recap on our day 22. Later, we discuss on the grid lines in Microsoft Excel. After that, we discuss on cells. After cells, we discuss on the rows and the columns. Then questions and answer. Before question and answer, we'll take a tour of the Microsoft Excel to see grid lines, cells, rows and columns, etc., etc. After the question and answer, then we conclude for the day. So, recap on day 22. So in your day 22, you were introduced to Microsoft Excel, one of the productivity tools used, from the Microsoft Office suite. It is a spreadsheet program used for organizing, calculating data analysis, and presenting data. Likewise, you discuss about the importance of Microsoft Excel, which is Microsoft Excel can be used for data storage, it can be used for data analysis, it can be used for data entry, and it can be used for business calculations or finance calculations. It can also be used with decision making, that is data-driven decision making. Likewise, you are also presented with the Excel interface that includes the title bar, the quick access toolbar, the name box, formula bar, etc., etc. So, our today's outline. Our first outline for the day is grid lines. Grid lines are those lines you see in Excel that looks like tables, but they are not tables. They can be unbuilt, that means they can be removed. Without them, the Excel workbook will become a blank sheet. It will look blank, meaning there is nothing in there. But to be more friendly, for Excel to be friendly, using these grid lines will make Excel very friendly for us when working with it. Likewise, we also have the apex lines you see that make the spreadsheet look like a grid. Yeah, you all know what a grid is, where two lines meet, one vertical and one horizontal. That is what we mean by grid. Likewise, we also have the cells. Before cells, we have the rows and the columns. Rows are those that go horizontally. They start from 1 up to 1,048,576, meaning Excel has 1,048,576 rows. Likewise, it also have columns. Columns are those that go vertically, where you can see A, B, C, D, E, F, T, all the way to cell XFD, which is the number 16,384th column in Excel. So using the rows and columns, the combination of rows and columns, or let's see where rows and columns meet, is what is known as the cell. Wherever you click a cell, for example, if you click cell C, that means, if you click on column C at exactly row 3, that will give you cell C3. When you click on column D at exactly row 10, that will give you cell D10, which is also known as the cell reference. So after that, so now let's take a tour of the Microsoft Excel interface to see what are grid lines, what are cells, and what are rows and columns. So just wait for me shortly. I will be diverting back to Microsoft Excel. Uh, Microsoft Excel, where are you? Sorry. Sorry, I'm trying to open my Microsoft Excel. Good. So now we are good to go. So this is Microsoft Excel. This is how Microsoft Excel looks like. This is the interface you were introduced to yesterday. So today we are talking about grid lines. Look at it. These are the grid lines, the verticals and the horizontals that make Excel look very, very amazing. So you can, when you remove those grid lines, the Excel sheet will become blank. Look at it now. It becomes blank. So without it, Excel will look like garbage, as I call it. But not as it is. When without the grid lines, Excel becomes somehow like a garbage because it won't be friendly. So with the grid lines, Excel looks better and it allows for easier navigation through, but through the spreadsheet cells, sorry, through the workbook, through the sheet, etc. So we also talk about cells. So this is what we call cell. Look at it. The in where a column, a row, sorry, this is a column, and this is the rows. They are the ones in one, two, three, four. If you can see my also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, off to the last column, which is cell, which is column 1 million. Look at it. 1,048,576. That is the last row in Excel. You cannot go down, but you can go up. Look at it. It's not going anywhere. So likewise, these are the columns. Look at them. If you can see my cursor, these are the columns. They start from A all the way to XFD, which is column number 16,384 in Excel. So you can see how large Excel is. It can carry a large or store a large amount of data. For example, it can store let's say the database of some private workers, because I don't think the entire Nigerian workers will be up to 1,048,576. Meaning Excel can hold 1,048,576 records of individuals. Likewise, it can store 16,384 pills per individual. So this is this about this. So we also talk about the cell. This is what we call cell. Wherever a column and a row meets, you will see a green box there. So that green box determines that you are selecting that particular cell. For now, if you see, we are selecting cell XEK2. Cell XEK2. Now, if I come to column XEM and click on a cell, look at it. Now we are on cell XEM3, meaning column XEM row 3. Likewise, also look at it. Each and every cell has its own name. Look at this one. This is column E, row what? Row 4. That is cell E4. Meaning wherever a column and a row meets, it is known as a cell. We call it a cell. It is referred to as a cell. So I think this is all about grid lines, all about columns, all about rules. So this is where you insert your data. Okay, sorry, we are not after that. You will treat that later. But this is how this Excel interface looks like. And also this is the grid line. These are the columns and these are the rows. Columns are in alphabetical order or in alphabets from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, all to Z. And from Z, it will start again from A, Z, M, A, 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 B, A, C, A, D, all the way. Let me show you. Look at it. When it comes to Z, it starts again. A, A, B, A, C, A, D. It will continue. Look at arrive at AZ, it starts again. BA, BB, BC. That's how the columns are arranged in this order. While this one that are in numbers, numbers has no they are uncountable. So therefore, it will keep going up to the last column. So this is rows, this is grid line, and this is columns. So now we are returning back to our slides. Good. So now we are back from our tour of the Microsoft Excel interface. So now we move to question and answer. I will be in the chat box to answer your questions, if any. Please, if you have questions, drop them in the chat box. I'm waiting for you. If you have questions, please drop them in the chat box so that we can move forward. Still waiting for your questions. Absence of questions means understanding. So please ask questions because Excel is a very, very useful tool for productivity in office works. So please. So I have a question here that says, what is the difference between Excel by Abdul Abdullah Umar that says, what is the difference between Excel and the table that we learned from Evolution? So you see, Excel is not a table. Unless you insert a table, that grid lines, that's why we show you grid lines. In Microsoft Word also, there are grid lines in Microsoft Word. So they are not tables. In Excel, they are referred to as grid lines. They are just there to guide you for entering your data. While that of Microsoft Word can hold many things. That of Microsoft Word can only exist when you insert it using the insert tab and you choose table. While this one exists as Excel. That is how spreadsheets are normally. All workbooks and sheets, when you open a spreadsheet, you will see it with those grid lines. And you can remove them as I show you. You can remove the grid lines and you want to turn into a blank sheet. So thank you. I hope I have answered your question. Yes, we are in the question and answer session now. Remember, you have your weekly assignments. So make sure whatever you think you do not understand or does not appear clear to you, you ask about it because when you are doing your weekly assignments, we won't be there for you. This is the right time to ask questions, please. So I think we are over with the question and answer session due to lack of questions. So in conclusion, grid lines, they are not steps. Grid lines are just there to guide you on how to navigate in spreadsheets. Cells are there for reference purposes. For example, if you enter Excel and you don't know where you are, maybe you are entering data and you forget where you stopped. Maybe you have a glitch, or let's say maybe your system just broke or you run out of charge. So if you don't know the cell that you stopped, it will be very, very difficult for you to get there, to get back where you are. That is why cells were there for you for reference purposes. Likewise, columns and rows so that you can maybe you are collaboration collaborating in sheet with another colleague, so you can tell them, please check let's say please check cell eight or check cell XFD 1,486. There are some errors there, so they are means for reference purposes, so as to make it very easier for you to reference a column. So that is about it. So in your sectors, all it is Excel is a very important tool for office productivity. So don't mind me, I keep emphasizing for productivity. When you have knowledge of Excel, I'm telling you, you'll become extraordinary. Everybody will come for you. Yeah, very, very sure. When you know Excel very, very well, everybody will be coming for you. You will be the man for them. You will be the man for everybody in the office. You will be the man the boss will come for. Please do this, do that. Because Excel, I'm telling you, Excel is a treasure. Yeah, in fact, it is a treasure. Because we are using Excel every day. And we are generating data every day. To store data, you require special tools like Excel to store it. So with this, I think I will say thank you for attending our the 23 of 40 of the Hammad. Then we'll call it a day from here. See you next time. Thank you.